Hello, in this video, you'll see the very best mods that add firearms, completely changing the way you think about Minecraft. Modular Warfare. This mod is perfect for game modes, like wall-to-wall battles and GKS. It adds a huge variety of weapons and features to Minecraft, making combat much more dynamic and exciting. I have to say, this is one of the best gun mods I've ever seen for this version of Minecraft. The mod is quite comprehensive. It introduces a wide array of powerful and diverse weapons specifically designed for engaging in short range, medium range, and long range combat scenarios, providing players with extensive tactical options. The mod also adds attachments for guns, magazines with ammo, drop items, and SKS. There are also body armor vests with backpacks, and realistic physics for drop modded items. But unfortunately, in this mod you can't craft weapons, so it's really just for custom game modes, and it also has a few other issues. For example, the reloading and attachment system for the guns is not intuitive at all. I literally had to go on YouTube to figure out how to reload the damn weapon. And finally, the last point. There's no animation when you look at the weapon from a third-person perspective. But visually, it's something incredibly beautiful and stunning. I think this is the most beautiful firearm mod out there. And by the way, it fits perfectly for survival in the apocalypse themed mod packs or shooter game modes. The mod adds melee weapons to the game. Mid-range weapons too. And long-range weapons as well. It also lets you perform point-blank attacks, change the rate of fire, and go prone just like in PUBG. On top of that, the mod introduces attachments and special upgrades that give different buffs to the guns. And what's really surprising is that there are actually a bit more attachments here than in the previous mod, and you won't have any trouble figuring out how to install them. And the last thing that's added is a crafting table. That's everything from this mod. By the way, you can combine this mod with Epic Fight and its add-ons. That makes the game even more incredible, you could say. However, this masterpiece does have a drawback. There's no animation when viewing from the second or third person perspective. This is another awesome gun mod that's perfect for World War II themed modes. So, it effectively adds a variety of animated and visually engaging weapons for both medium range and long range combat scenarios to the overall gameplay experience. Besides that, the mod adds grenades that are just visually stunning. And the mod has some other features too. For example, there's now bullet spread. The crosshair only appears when you're standing still, and so on. All of this gives it a certain, vibe. But unfortunately, for now, the mod doesn't have weapon crafting or attachments, although I think the last one would be a bit much. And now, the final touch. A dynamic camera is added when moving with a weapon. That's it for the overview. Now let's talk about the issues. The mod is still in alpha, and there are simply no bullets or magazines yet. I have no idea how I was reloading that weapon in the recording, but hopefully this will be fixed in future updates. The last of the, let's say, AAA weapon mods that leave me speechless. I can't help but agree that this is one of the best weapon mods I've ever seen. Like the previous ones, this mod adds a huge variety of weapons with outstanding animations. I'm talking about rocket launchers, machine guns, sniper rifles, and much more. The mod also adds attachments that you can install on weapons to change their characteristics. And there's also a fire mode switch, which is actually more convenient than in any of the previously mentioned mods. I also have to mention that you can craft weapons at a special workbench. And of course, besides weapons, you can also craft attachments and ammo there, using resources from classic Minecraft. But nothing is ever perfect. That logic applies to this mod as well. There are some bugs with shaders, but that's all when it comes to anything critical. Overall, Point Blank is an excellent mod, despite a few aspects. But at the moment, it is one of the best in its class. This mod is probably the ultimate experience among gun mods, because it has its own skill tree, which literally determines your rights or permissions, so to speak, to do things and use guns. So, to go into more detail, a skill leveling system is added, which depends on kills. The mod also adds new challenges, such as bleeding and fractures, which can be treated with bandages and syringes. In addition, the mod introduces new mobs, some of which have their own guns, weapons, and again, they're divided into 3 classes: short, medium, and long range. Fortunately, in this mod, you have the option to craft weapons. However, as you may have noticed, the animations are pretty lousy. The mod is really simple. It adds a crafting table, a couple of boring mobs, and some weapons. The second simple mod, and its name is quite literal. So you gather basic resources, craft weapons and ammo, and just go around handing it out. Memories. Techguns. This is a legendary mod that adds a whole arsenal of new guns and mechanisms to Minecraft. I have to say, it's one of the most interesting and diverse mods I've ever seen. So, the mod adds various crafting machines, armor for protection, jump boost and jetpack for mobility, weapons and ammo for combat, and that's all. Even though the mod is old, it still has its own issues. It's hard for beginners to get into, and you need to use other energy mods if you want to play survival. The mod itself is just okay, but there are add-ons for it that are actually really worth it. So you get weapons, a crafting table, attachments, and of course ammo. This is a mod I would use in all my mod packs. I have to say, this is the perfect mod that adds exactly what you need to your Minecraft, without making the game too complicated or too easy. So, Minecraft gets crafting benches for making weapons, attachments to upgrade your guns, grenades, and other combat projectiles, enchantments for weapons to add magical properties, and of course, the guns themselves. Everything is pretty standard. It adds weapons, ammo, armor, and, most surprisingly, a parachute. And now there's even more for crafting. Basically, weapons from the game Apex Legends just show up. I know there are other great weapon mods out there. I'll be happy to show them to you if you let me know you enjoyed this video.